Yeah, big welcome to you, my dear Scorpio. Today is your full moon and a lunar eclipse. So a lot of astrology videos speak about an intense time. But of course, all of that can be overcome when we come into our center, right? And that's what the Tarot is telling us all the time. Come into your center. So here is Taurus, Sun in Taurus, that is giving the light to the full moon in your sign. And we can see how Taurus is greeting you. He's the only one that's standing and looking at you because he's opposite of you. It's like, yes, I'm going towards you. Yes, my path is to see that the opposite, when I unite the opposite, then I come into my center. And so are the schools here for Taurus, the triangles pointing up. And so he is walking into Taurus, or you are. So you are walking into Taurus. And that's what's talking here, right? Through Taurus, the sun, you get the light, and that is your path at this moment. The yoga position for Taurus is the movement. I created a movement. We go up to get the information and we bring it down to the people. And you have here, of course, the Phoenix rising, you coming out of the deep waters. Noon is the name of your card. Noon is the fish. Out of the subconscious, we come out. You're ruled by Pluto, the transformation, the change, death, right, is the biggest change. And so here you're rising again and again out of your own ashes. Taurus is ruled by Venus, the beauty, the love, the harmony that we're searching. And of course, he loves to enjoy life, right? Meanwhile, you are looking for what makes this life even more deeper in the love. And what came to me was, how deep is your love, from Bee Gees. It's almost like that's the slogan, right? How deep is your love for yourself, right? And for this opposite energy, for Taurus, that is giving you the light through the sun. You are the King of Cups, and also we can see here that you are facing slightly the right spinning path. So during the whole year you get right spinning readings from me, and that's connected with the Earth spin that goes to the right every 24 hours, and we get the day and the night. And here you both look more into that human path, but today you get actually a soul reading because it's your full moon. And the soul reading is to the left, and that's the wobble the Earth does to the left around its own axis as well. 25,800 years long is that wobble. We divide it through the 12 zodiac signs and we get an age. We go currently from the age of Pisces to the age of Aquarius. So this is the story right here. If your birthday is between October 13 and November 12, this is your court card, right? I have listed all the court cards, dates in my description, and of course all the cards that I'm using today. Last time Aries Sun was highlighting the Scorpio Moon, feeling complete within your self-love. You had the Nine of Pentacles, you had the Ace of Cups, right? That's your cup. And you had the Hermit here, and that was on the position of the world. So very clear, your intuition knows how to work with love because it came up on your position on Scorpio. And this is your cup, right? The cup that is bringing you the question, how deep is your love? Maybe you want to listen to that song. Taurus speaks from the throat. You speak from your sex organs, right? Just that you know. Good. So let's begin. I have to always remind myself that I'm reading from right to left. So the first card that's coming to you is on the position of the Fool, the Emperor. And the Emperor is facing the human path, and you can see how the Soul is facing left and he's facing right. So there is something in you that's saying, I want to create something, because you are also right spinning. I want to create, I want to rule, I want to be between the world and the scepter and the crown, and this is the triangle. And in this triangle he has red shoes, and he's like, I want to live this world like I rule this world. I am an emperor. And so here you are. Your soul is literally bringing you this message, like, you rule. You are responsible for then the ruling, right? And then on the position of the Magician comes the smoky mirror. Now, as you can see, I place it to the left and not here to the right, right? Because here it would be like, oh, okay, now he's facing the smoky mirror. But the Soul here is bringing you through the Magician that inspiration to look a little deeper into the smoky mirror. And the smoky mirror is about the fact that we have to be responsible with the 4, about the success. And so here this Emperor gets from the Soul the message, be responsible for your actions, for what you do and how you do it. And not everything is as clear as we think it is, because that's why the mirror is smoky. Calculated together, we get an 11, and that's a portal, a 1-1 portal, being creative in understanding how seeds grow now. With the month of Aries, the year began, and with the month of Aries, this breaking through, all the leaves, all the plants are breaking through the earth's crust, and it's like, I want to be here. And so recognize that it's not only about being successful, but it's also about knowing what are the workings behind the success. Then comes on the position of the High Priestess, the 10 of Pentacles. And interesting enough, as we saw, you had last time on that position the 9 of Pentacles. And so this is Mercury in Virgo. Back then it was Venus in Virgo, but Mercury in Virgo is bringing you powerful information, because the High Priestess sits between black and white, and we have a black and white pattern. And you can see here, it's like almost a tree of life, the Kabbalistic tree of life. And we have 5 here, and we have 5 here. 2 times squares, and each time the 5 in between. So this is the Lord of Wealth, and this wealth is your intuition. You have, when you understand the smoky mirror, because this is a 1-1, and here the 10 becomes also 1, so you have 3 1s. The soul path of intuition is bringing you wealth, and it's that what you have to recognize. Not always is the path of wealth like this. It's almost like, no, it's all behind you. Where you are here in that soul state, all these cards are now behind you, because we can eventually read it all in the other direction, right? We can read the cards to the right, and we can read the cards to the left. So here comes the 10. Here comes 10 lotus flowers of wealth, and the wealth is to be intuitive. very intuitive, very connected to the soul path, right? And then comes on the position of the Empress, the Wheel of Fortune. So you have a 10-10 portal here, and then you have 4 wands, and 4 is the heart, 4 is the responsibility that came by wanting to be an emperor, wanting to be the highest figure in the physical world, right? An emperor is the king of kings. And so the Wheel of Fortune is almost saying, okay, but you gotta recognize the soul path, because the soul path is going to the left. You can see the wheel is spinning to the left and not to the right, right? Because their faces go this way. And so recognize that the new form that the Empress is giving birth to is, that's your destiny. Your destiny is to recognize that 4 times the one is working with the heart, working here in this crossing, right? You can see this is like the Catholic Church's cross. And where is the cross? Here, right? It's the heart is the crossing. And so that's the number 4, the responsibility to take care of your heart in this 10-10 portal. Then in itself is 2 times 10, is that a new path is beginning, a new understanding of how you want to work with the elements. And then comes you. So if I put you here, then you're looking at the Wheel of Fortune. If I put you here, you're coming out of the Wheel of Fortune, you see? So you are looking at the Wheel of Fortune and you're kind of like, okay, I'm looking at the heart, I'm looking at 4 times the one, and yes, I take responsibility of that. I see now that the heart, the love, the emotions, they're important, and how deep is my love, right? Or how deep is your love is literally speaking to you directly, and things are moving, things are shifting, and things are changing. Then comes now on the position of the Emperor, right? The Page of Wands. And the Page of Wands, look where he's walking into. He was walking into the soul path to the left, and the Emperor can, if he's here, see, if I put him here, this young generation that is still very much connected to the soul. All 3 fire signs are connected with the pages, the young generation of Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So you are, with a young heart, able to go the path of the soul. Always, right? It's kind of like what Jesus said. Become a child, then you can enter the kingdom. And so this childishness is bringing you now forward through Aries. And Aries is sitting here and is recognizing, okay, yeah, we gotta become like children. We're gonna become again young to be able to rule again and again, because a ruler sometimes becomes very stuck in the way he does things. And so here you are recognizing the Wheel of Fortune is speaking to you directly, that everything is moving, everything is shifting. Then comes on the position of Taurus, which is opposite of you, and in the sun comes the Devil, Capricorn, the social status, the number 15, which becomes then a 6. So you have the 1, and the 1 was the smoky mirror. Recognize that not everything is as clear. This mystery of manifestation and creating things is always around us, and we don't know how things are working. But Taurus is literally warning you not to get attached to the social status, which is then the 5 in it. Because, I mean, he's a little attached to the social status as well. That's why I gave him the movement. I changed Taurus energy of the fixed sign sitting here and wanting to have everything and holding on to things. No. Start creating a movement. Bring the things down that you're supposed to become, right? And so here Capricorn is speaking to you and letting you know, yeah, don't get attached. Don't get attached to the social status, because in the end, it's like what it's going to bring you, right? And so if you're not getting attached to the social status, then you get on the position of Gemini, the Gemini in you or Gemini in your life, the 9 of Cups. And interesting enough, the 9 of Cups is now facing the right spinning path. So this 9 is giving you the understanding that Jupiter in Pisces is, the age of Pisces is this path of love that Jesus was declaring is important, because the path of love is, we have to be the love. We have to be that cup that you're holding in your hand. And so how deep is your love for yourself is, I am loving myself and I am jumping and I am having everything that I need. And I don't get attached to anything. The social status that I climbed brought me also a lot of happiness, and I want to cherish that because it's in the human path that I understood that, because that's why we have to understand these two ways, soul and human. And soul is from deep within to the out, and the human is from the out to the deep within. So it's again, it's everything is cyclical. Everything is spinning, everything is turning, everything is always two sides of a coin, right? And then on the position of Cancer, the Chariot, comes the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is the pre-stage of your card, the 12, and then you come as the 13, and here you are asked to be successful in letting really go, because now your year begins. With this full moon, you get the new year, and you can literally gloriously see how you are happy with this 9, and how you are wanting to achieve a spiritual understanding of the world, and how these cards are filled with symbolism and teaching you to be empowered through the symbolism. And here is hanging down, and here is reaching the arms up, you see? So this is a 12, and the 12 becomes a 3. And on the position of the Empress was the Wheel of Fortune. Everything is spinning, so sometimes it happens that we also see the world from this perspective, and that's what you do. You recognize now, I can be here, up, enjoying, but I can also be this way and recognizing something quite profound. So just notice that, right? Just notice what is speaking to you. And then on the position of Leo, the month of Leo, we could say, right? This is the month of Cancer, comes the Hermit. You find your strength in summer, in the summer month, and you have then a 9-9 portal framing the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man, like I said, is the 12, which becomes a 3. So, yes, you are awakening to a happiness that comes from knowing the spiritual path, knowing the self-love, knowing the door, knowing the center, knowing where the heart is, knowing where the crossing is. Here in the center, the light, the 9, the key. You have the keys, and the 9 is a completion, and you have the completion then here in the month of Gemini as well, that happiness, profound happiness. But then again, a healing month comes through Cancer. Heal, 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 so that you can find your identity from deep within and recognize that you have arrived and that you have found that deep inner strength between being this gentle lady and this wild beast, right? And then on the position of Virgo, you get the Tower. So this is Salvador Dali, and you can see I have listed all the names of the cards that I'm using. You can see how here this is a very futuristic tower, and it's almost like there is someone falling out of the sky, out of the moon. It's a very strong card, right? To read it, it will take an hour just to read this card, just to dive in it. But the quick moment of looking at it is making me realize that the future is coming. The age of Aquarius is coming, right? And that's connected, of course, with the wobble, that we're going from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius. And so the Tower breaks things apart that don't make sense anymore. The old age, yes, it made sense, but now in the new age, it just doesn't make sense anymore. It's almost like this becomes an eye that is looking out of the sky to see how this man falls out of the sky. And then the 16 here, right? The 1, the smoky mirror again. And the 6, which in a way the devil, the 6, right? The 15 becomes the 6. And of course, on the position of Gemini, the 6 was this happiness. So the social status, in a way, does make you happy. But then this becomes a 7. And you had also a 7 here in the smoky mirror, right? And you just have to recognize that the soul path now is asking from you to really let go of things, because this is what is happening anyway, right? The new generation wants things in a different way, and they are looking into the soul path. Then on the position of the Wheel of Fortune, which you had on the Empress, is coming here now, the 4, the Moon Dance. And that is building a 4-4 portal with the Emperor. And she is walking that fine line over. And there are 3 little birds sitting here. And she knows the 3 is the Empress. And on the Empress came the Wheel of Fortune. So on the Wheel of Fortune comes the 4, which leads you then to the understanding that you have to find your balance. And these 3 birds are helping you with the moon. Today is a special moment for you, that you recognize that, and that something is profoundly speaking to you, which I cannot give you. You have to do your work in what comes up and what pictures come up when I speak about these cards. And I explain to you just the numbers, and I explain to you what I recognize. But there is a fine line of walking now carefully, because things are crashing, things are falling, and that we need to build already through the new generation. We need to build new things. And they see what they see, and they recognize there are always opportunities, even if things fall apart. There are always opportunities for us to grow and to evolve. And then comes on the position of Libra, the Justice, comes the Ace of Pentacles. New money. New money that is pointing into the moonwalk, in the moon dance. Maybe you do a moon dance tonight because it's your full moon. Make your wish. Make whatever it is that you need to have for the future, for this next year. What do you want for this year? Who do you want to be in a year? Who you want to be in 10 years? Who you want to be in 100 years? And some say, who do you want to be in 1,000 years? But here comes Justice, Libra, and is saying, okay, have a look at this new money. Have a look at the crossing. Have a look at the 4. And here again, you have Aries, the 4. Right? Aries is this leader, in a way, from the soul. You want to lead from your soul. You have 4 roses. And of course you have then here the 4, the number 4. And you are seeing, yes, here's also 4, right? You want to see that sometimes things cannot be explained. They come because they just come. And this is the holy money. This is new money. This is money that doesn't have any negativity attached to it because it's new. It's a new generation that's working with this money. And that's why also it comes on the justice position, right? And understand that new money can be good money. Old money sometimes can be very dirty, emotionally negative, attached energy to it. Then on the position of the Hanged Man, which came up in the Cancer month, comes here the Cactus Quartz number 25. So there is a 12, right? There's a 2-2. And the 2 is the intuition. And on the intuition, you know, you got the 10. And so here with this 10 and this, you get an 11. So you have an 11 with the smoky mirror when I calculate them it's now together, right? So the smoky mirror is an 11, and here you have 11 coins. So it's almost like saying, yes, there is a portal to money if you understand this one coin. Always understand this one coin. That's the heavenly coin. And then when we add a 0, and the 0 again from the Fool is saying, yeah, the Emperor is adding a 0 and another 0 until we have a million and or a trillion or a billion, right? This is like crazy. So notice that the intuition from the High Priestess is bringing you the cactus, and this cactus is bringing you an understanding to be in your intuition. And of course, then the 5 to recognize that the Hierophant is bringing the money. And the money can only grow if it comes from a very pure place. And so the 25 then becomes a 7, and that's Cancer month, and you had the Hanged Man. And so the Hanged Man is saying, yes, just recognize that you have to be self-sufficient, self-reliant. You have to learn, you have to grow, you have to reverse, you have to see the world from a different perspective. You have to learn to let go of things so that you can really become a new person, because now is a new cycle beginning for you. And this is what this card is bringing to you. Then comes on the position of Death, the 4 of Swords. And 4 of Swords is Jupiter in Libra. And Jupiter in Libra is the Wheel of Fortune, right? And the Wheel of Fortune came on the Empress. And Jupiter is that everything comes and goes. And so there are 2 swords facing down and 2 swords facing up. And it's just like, again, the Emperor has to be very focused, very concentrated, meditate, go deep within. If you want to be empowered or empower others, right, through your position, then you gotta understand that Jupiter in Libra is recovery, because it's about the quiet after the fight. It's like recollecting yourself and going into the beauty, going into the light, going into the harmony, and then find that harmony within you, because that's what Libra brings, because Libra brought that one coin and that holy money that is not dirty, but actually brings you now new opportunities to grow. And then comes on the position of Temperance, the 6 of flutes. And this is where you recognize that you have then achieved the goal to be successful. Sagittarius, another fire sign, because that was already speaking here about the pages, right? It's a fire sign. And here comes Jupiter in Leo. And Jupiter in Leo, right, on Leo we had here that inner self-love, that true self-love, that you find that glory and success comes only from deep within, from uniting with others who are weaker than us, who don't have the mind that you have, right? And so an emperor can only be really powerful if he recognizes, yes, I am quite advanced, I am quite powerful, but I protect the ones that are not. And I see that there is that quiet necessary to reach this state of consciousness. Then on the position of the devil, which you had on the position of Taurus, right? The social status is speaking here to you, and the social status comes with Moon in Sagittarius. And Taurus already said, don't climb into the social status, be careful. So now you have understood that the 9 of Wands is creating a 9-9 portal around the 6. Is important you recognize that Moon in Sagittarius here on the position of Sagittarius, which is the Knight of Wands, came Jupiter in Leo. And so you have Sagittarius speaking here directly through Capricorn. Be careful with the social status, because sometimes then we do too much for that. We want to push ourselves. And so when I calculate this together, we have 9 and 6 is 15, and of course the 15 is Capricorn. So be careful. Be careful that the success is not pushing you too much to do things that you maybe after regret that you have done it. So then you have another wand, then you have 16 wands, and remember you had the Tower 16 on the position of the Hermit. Recognize the success can come and go. We have to let go of things because we also die, and that's what you're bringing, right? We're dying. We're going. Nothing is permanent. So recognize that and see that in this reading now. Then on the position of the Tower comes the Otter. And the Otter is looking into the right spinning path and is saying, okay, I want to have fun. So now all the soul has spoken to you and things are falling apart, and you know that things are falling apart and that things are coming and going and that I can create again and again. But sometimes then at a certain age we just don't feel that we have the energy anymore to do something. But that's why you have that young generation, right? The young generation can do things, and the Otter is the one that wants to have fun. And you can see he's like in a spotlight, and he's like looking at the 9, and he's like, oh well, I have to think about if I really want this much work, right? Do I want the social status? But I want to have fun, and to have fun sometimes we need then the right circumstances. So recognize that here comes something that the fun is always something here, right, that we experience, of course, in this world, and the soul loves to experience all these things, because where the soul is, everything is perfect, right? And so you want to have fun. That's what in a way comes through here. And what's leaving, what's going, what needs to go is helping you then to be really you, because it's on the Hermit, right? Then comes on the position of the Star, the Aquarius, comes the 3 of Pentacles, and that's Mars in Capricorn. So a Capricorn is here, Mars in Capricorn. You want to build. There's the idea to build something, and in the new age to build something that has a value, that has a social status, right? It's almost like saying, well, you can't get around that social status because you had the Emperor immediately on your mind as the soul, as that zero, as that, where is that coming from? Right? Where is that coming from, that thought? The soul is bringing you now. If you do something that has really value, really empowerment, because the star is the hope, it's the age of Aquarius that we are entering more and more, right? Then we're getting there. 4 more comes on the position of the moon, which is on your position. Here, one more chance to do a reconciliation with the 59. It's the desire to evolve, and so in your evolvement is to reconcile with a Taurus, to reconcile in this 5, to reconcile maybe with the fact that things are leaving, right? Because the 9, on the Hermit comes the Tower. On the position of the Leo comes the 9. To reconcile the fact that you deep within have everything you need, and that you then have the happiness that you can just bring into this world. But on your position of Scorpio came the 4 of Swords. Reconcile, make peace, go deep within and check why are you having certain situations. And when we calculate the 59 together, we get a 14, so the 4 is in there. And of course the 1 of 14, and of course the Magician, right? And you had an 11 and a 10, 10, and then again 11 coins. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ones, 7 ones. And now here the 14 becomes a 5. So Taurus is pushing you to really reconcile, because you see how it's coming to you, and actually do it. Whatever you want to heal and reconcile here, the wailing tree, do it now, because it's important, because you don't want to carry that into your new age, into your new year, right? And so do it. Whatever it is that you want to heal, do it. Then on the position of the Sun, which is in Taurus, comes the soul, because the soul is pushing you, and the soul is here, the number 14. Look at that. So we have a 14, 14, and then a 5, 5 portal. Wow. See, I don't see it when it's lying here. I see it only when I hold them up here. So you have a 5, 5 portal, right? So Taurus is speaking directly through the soul to you. Yes, cry me a river. Yes, how deep is your love? Yes, you do want to be an emperor, right? But you gotta reconcile also things. So the Emperor is here, and of course the 4 is here, and you gotta have, through the moon, the courage to be in this situation and allow then the 5, right, of the Hierophant to lead you. First of all, through the Sun, right, that the soul is leading you very strongly, and that on the position of the Taurus came the social status, that the social status doesn't always make you that happy. So just be careful what you're wishing for, what it is that you want in this next year that is coming to you. And then we have the Last Judgment. On the position of the Last Judgment here, this beautiful card, right, is the 20. And the 20 is that moment where manifestation comes to you when you listen to the soul. Soon you may manifest the goal you focus spiritual energies upon. The number 37, which becomes 3 times a 10, 10 portal, right? 10, 10, 10. And So again, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ones. Oh my God, right? So 7 ones. It's like, okay, that's the crown chakra, but that's also a weak spot sometimes, like reaching the goal to be spiritually enlightened and empowered. Be careful, right? Because when you manifest, then you have a world like this, and the soul wants to bring you this vision, wants to bring you this kind of life, but recognize also that the soul sometimes cries in what we're doing in the name of a God or of a spiritual path, right? That we don't see that things are sometimes not as it seems, that we are angels here, and that angel came through becoming connected with the animals and coming to this world and also having fun and coming to this world and seeing that we want to enjoy this life, right? That's what we do here in this world. And that's where the moon comes in as that, okay, I am gonna go the human path and connect with the moon. Because then on the last position of the world comes now the page of voices. And the world needs new thoughts, needs the pages, needs to create a beautiful world of manifestation, right? That when you focus with your spirit on your energy, and you can reach the goal to see this world through new glasses, through these 3 air signs, which is Gemini and Libra and Aquarius, right? And on Gemini you had this, on Libra you had this, and on Aquarius you had this. So really interesting is that we have this here. Actually the other way around, right? Because it went to the left, right? So here we have this. Recognize that one more coin here, there's 3 coins, and you have 10 coins, that makes 14 coins. The 5, Taurus, the richness comes from Taurus, right? Taurus is the earth. So you have here 14 through these 3, and then you have, let's see, it's very interesting, through, I'm going to put this down for a moment. You have on Aries the wands, then you have on Leo this, and on Sagittarius you had this. Right, this is what's coming through the pages of fire, right? Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So to build this new world, you gotta use the understanding that when you manifest, right, you manifest with the young generation, with the young mind. And then you can see, if I put now the Emperor here, he's gonna go reverse because he's facing this way through all the cards, and you can see it on the picture at the end of this reading. Then you can go the human path, and you'll see that, okay, this is the soul speaking to you, because the soul is definitely speaking to you and saying, have a look at everything, have a look also at these kind of things, right? That we have to sometimes really help and be helping others to be empowered, and that's what an emperor does, right? He's an emperor for a reason, but not to push people down, but to help people to manifest and to help the new generation to bring these new ideas down. And so this is what's speaking to you through the reading today, right? This is your moment of coming to a deeper understanding that everything is a dance, right? And so you have here the moon dance, and just feel that peacefulness and meditation is helping you to really be this empowered being, right, in the human path. From the soul, you get all these lessons, and you saw now the story here. It is a lot to take in, but you have a whole year to digest this whole reading. But just recognize that it's, connect with the moon, and you will see that a peacefulness from deep within can make you go through this path. Wow. What a reading, right? So I hope I see you in the next one, because then the sun is in Gemini. There is a happy time coming to you. So it's speaking to you already directly. And I wish you, of course, a beautiful meditation for tonight and this new beginning of the year for you. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.